Hello guys, welcome back to another cinematic mic review. Today I'm going to review Damien Chazelle's Babylon. Babylon stars Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, and Diego Calva. This is a film that's set in like the 1920s, kind of like the roaring 20s, I guess you would say. You know, it's when people were partying, the film stars. I think the movie industry was kind of big, getting bigger at this time. You know, it's barely like when cinema was actually kind of starting already into becoming into an industry and all. It takes like place with this whole a scene of like debauchery of like this wild parties, getting drunk, getting drugged, causing mayhem, everything just like free will, all you can think of, you know. I wanted to see this film. I heard about this film since like last year, I think. At first, I didn't know what it was going to be about because I think it was kind of kept a little secret at first. Then as time came on, it came out what it was kind of going to be about, the Hollywood and like the early stars and all that. The one reason I wanted to see this film is because I'm a big fan of Damien Chazelle. I mean, I've seen all his films, La La Land. I've seen Whiplash, which I love. But my favorite one of his is First Man, which I still watch from time to time because of the score and the story, and it's just so beautiful for me. That's probably my one favorite film from Damien Chazelle. This is probably gonna be like my second one. So I was looking forward to it because Damien Chazelle's like, man, come on, that guy's incredible for me. I think I'm a big fan of his. So I was getting excited for it. I knew I was gonna have to wait till like the end of the year, and I didn't know what it was about yet, just a little bit. But then some things come out, posters come out later, and then I'm like, damn, I get more excited. Trailers come out, I'm getting more excited. So I was interested in what he was gonna say, and me being a fan of film, you know, movie nerd, a cinephile, whatever you want to say, you know, obviously this is gonna be my cup of tea. Anybody who's into this stuff kind of likes this stuff about movies, about making movies, the early stars, Hollywood, and all that, you know. So I thought it was gonna be an interesting story. So I went to go see it last night. I thought it was incredible. I thought the production was great. It's a big like scale production. The opening is freaking crazy as hell. You don't even get to the title until like after like 10 minutes or so, which I didn't even realize. I was like, oh, the title barely came in. But you get thrown into this world where I could say like, man, it feels like if you're in hell or something, kind of just being really sinful. But it's funny as hell. The characters are great in here. I think the cast is great in here. The characters are great in here. So it's talking about like how I think it talks about how some people really wanted the fame, wanted to get into Hollywood, wanted to make movies, you know. And they talk about the things why we like movies, you know, why I want to be a filmmaker, why I do filmmaking. You know, they talk about, you know, I want to leave something, you know, I feel I want to leave something that lasts, you know. It's what one of the Diego Calva's character says, Manny Torres. I think he says, he's like, I want to leave something that lasts here. I want to be part of something, you know. I think that's the reason why, you know, Margot Robbie's character, she wants to be a star, but she doesn't even say I'm gonna become a star. She says I am a star, you know. So it talks about those little things, and I think a lot about. I think it has to deal a lot with how some things we want them so bad, but at the same time it could be like bad, you know. And especially someone in Hollywood, you know, Hollywood has like a history of all this controversial stuff and everything, you know. And sometimes fame just brings some more problems. Sometimes, you know. Your past could come with you too, you know. So I like that it talks about that stuff, shows that kind of stuff, you know, about like wanting to be part of it. It takes place during the 1920s to like the 1930s. It shows the transition from when there was no sound in film to when there was sound in film, you know. It shows how it affected the industry, how it affected the people that were used to making films without sound, you know. It comes with some good comedic parts when those parts come, you know, and it's stuff we deal with when you're making movies. You know, I've made like 2 short films. I've dealt with some of the things that they're showing, so it made me laugh really hard. The audience was laughing really hard. So I thought it was just great right there. I love the cast, that there's like kind of a diverse cast in here, you know. I love that it has because I think these casts are like important to this this diverse cast is kind of important to the history, you know. You have a black guy, you have a Latino Hispanic guy, you have an Asian woman who's based off of Anne, I think, and is it Anne May Wong, I think, inspired by, you know, even the black guy, I forgot the actor that he's inspired by, you know. And they all kind of have to deal with people they're loosely based off of some people, and I think they're important parts. And even with the background of their like race, you know, it kind of shows things that were going, how at the beginning it was fine, but you know, it shows like what was going on after with what was happening with these actors that had a different background, you know. And like when the transition happened, you know, it seemed like everyone was free, like early in the 1920s, like partying, everything. But things as time went on, things changed, you know. Some actors, you know, they don't find them interesting anymore. They get mocked, everything, they got laughed at, you know. It shows you a lot. Some people are just used to the old ways, you know. Sometimes I'm used to some old stuff too, you know. I think that happens with a lot, you know, and sometimes it just gets depressing as things change, you know. You're not in your comfort zone anymore, you know. So it has a lot to do with that. So I love that it's a big comedy. Like, it reminds me of like Wolf of Wall Street, the Great Gatsby. Just this whole wild party out Hollywood type of thing. It also reminds me of Hail Caesar by the Coen brothers. And I love that I was laughing like nonstop throughout like the beginning until towards like the middle, you know. And it takes a turn where it gets a little bit dramatic, which I loved about it. I love when films do that, when you kind of feel like comedic, but then it kind of turns into a dramatic way, you know, and it makes it emotional, you know. The film also seems like it's paying homage to cinema. It's paying homage to the silent era, to the transition of Hollywood. It's paying homage to why we love movies, why we go to the movies, why we want to be in that industry, you know, the things that come with it. So I love that. I love the score, you know. I love Justin Hurwitz with Damien Chazelle, because I love First Man. The score for First Man was incredible, so I couldn't wait to see this. And I love the score. I couldn't get over it. I've been listening to it the whole day today. I've been trying to hear the good ones, the ones that I really love, you know. I love the connection between Manny and Nellie Leroy. You know, I love Brad Pitt's character. I forgot, I think Jack Conrad or something like that. I love his character, you know. It's great. He's like one of those stars that was one of the big stars, you know, and then things start happening as things transition, you know. Some of these people were like at the bottom and made it to the top, but then kind of just, I don't know, it's just all chaotic, you know. And that's the way the film feels. It feels chaotic when you watch it, with the music, with the editing, the directing. Everything seems going back and forth and like everywhere, you know. And it's like, oh my god, it's like, it could be a little bit like give you a headache, but that's like the chaos of all of it, you know. And I think it was a good way to shoot it, you know. And I think it's a great film. I had a good time. I don't regret going and watch it. It's a long film. It's a very long film. It's 3 hours, kind of like, I guess, Avatar 2 a bit. But to be honest, I loved every second of it, you know. I loved every second of it. I love watching the whole thing. It was incredible. I love how they captured the time and all. So I think it was a great film. Yeah, so that's Damien Chazelle's Babylon. If that's my review on it. If you guys haven't checked it out, I suggest you guys do. And if you guys enjoy this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.